back to That Kevin Show with Kevin McCullough.
Welcome back. If you have missed what we've discussed thus far, Nicole Parker is a former special agent for the FBI. She now comments in the news and elsewhere on things related to law enforcement, particularly as it is relating to the news of the day, and we're grateful for her perspective on all of that. Nicole, I want to get into why you left the agency, but not for the good in your sense, in your estimation, and you felt like you needed to walk away. What happened?
So like I said, I was working, the criminal matters of the FBI, but there started to be an increase in what we would view as politicization at the FBI. And it became very apparent to all of us during the summer of 2016, particularly July 5th of 2016, when then Director Jim Comey went before the nation and said that no basic reasonable prosecutor to that effect would investigate or charge Hillary Clinton, which we all thought was very interesting and odd because the FBI director's job, our job in the FBI, is to gather evidence and to present it to prosecutors for evidence and to, present the evidence to the prosecutor for prosecutorial decisions. And it seemed like he was almost making that prosecutorial decision. And we all thought that was a bit off, right? We're like, wait a second. If there's all this evidence, why is he making that call?
Exactly.
Then it kind of launched into the Operation Crossfire Hurricane. And again, this is all involving people up in the DC area, people up on the 7th floor, people up in executive management. So those of us in the field that are on the ground level working violent crime or whatever your violation was, it didn't really affect you necessarily, right? So you're like, that's happening out there. That's not me.
But it did make you scratch your head a little bit and say, is this the same agency that I went to work for?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. And so over the years, it just kept amping up. And then we got a new director, right? Under President Trump, we got a new director. So we were all thinking, okay, well, this is a time of redemption. Like the new director is going to get things back on track. And unfortunately, it just didn't seem to be happening. In fact, it seemed that there was not a lot of leadership going on and things were just kind of continuing on a trajectory I just wasn't really comfortable with. And again, it's not about your political views. Your political views should be completely irrelevant when you're an FBI agent because you are tasked with investigating crimes, gathering evidence. And as they like to say, follow the evidence wherever it goes and buy the book. And it just seemed like, you know what, there are a lot of people not doing that. Like, how can you sit there and tell us that we're doing everything, following the evidence and buy the book? But there was this continuous pattern of seeing that they're going, investigating and prosecuting those on one side of the political spectrum with such aggression and vigor. But yet on the other side of the political spectrum or social views, you almost get a pass. Like, don't worry about that. We're not focused on that. And there just seemed to be such a disparity between how different people were getting treated. And that is not the oath that I took. That is not upholding the Constitution equally and unbiasedly. That is not Lady Justice being blind. And it was difficult to ignore that. And it got very frustrating because I kept having to defend myself, even though I had nothing to do with it. Those in the Miami, individuals that I was trying to recruit as sources, for example, they didn't even want to talk to me. They're like, I don't trust you. I don't trust the FBI. And I'd always have to say, look, I'm not a political agent. I have nothing to do with that. I'm just here to do my job.
Wow.
No one trusted
them. It actually
them.
Impeded your ability to do the very thing you signed up to do, which was to make the world a safer place.
And I witnessed the terrorist attack on 9/11. Okay. I came to serve this country and to protect individuals. And I had that opportunity to do that. I served with honor. I tried to be there for victims. I had a very victim-centered approach. I wanted nothing to do with politics. Many people said, hey, you should go to headquarters. You should go to DC. We need people like you in DC. And frankly, I didn't want to go to DC because I felt like the biggest impact I could make was in the field. And I even would say, I don't know if I'd be willing to drink the Kool-Aid that's required to be at headquarters. That's not my style. I just want to do the work. And frankly, the best agents I know were the ones on the ground level that were just in there working cases and investigations. But the politicization just became so loud, it was drowning out the work of those trying to focus on the real cases. And I just said, you know what? I think I can make a stronger impact for this country outside of the FBI. I think I can continue to serve and make a stronger impact outside the FBI. And so I walked away.
Well, I don't think there's any argument that certainly through Crossfire and through some of the other, Russia collusion and some of the agents that were involved in General Flynn. And, there just seemed to be a lot of agency attachment to some of these things that once we found out the truth about them, the agency should have never had their hands involved with it, and lying to the FISA courts and stuff like that. I mean, that's really where the reputation of this really important agency that we've come to depend on in really, really critical criminal matters in the past loses its, not just its shine, but its ability to really have the trust of the people. And I think that the FBI is only successful as the people are able to trust the agents. Okay, let's take one more break. We're coming right back. So honored to have Nicole Parker with us tonight. Stay here.
Ready or not, we'll be right back. That Kevin